This exercise here for the agenda will be far more.
Okay, Ceciano. Yehunu Yemiano Africa for you are Omoba Plumhai. I check Accra. Yehunu say Omoba Omobeta, a bit say, you would be fat rock for other towns. Echo Cosresiska. But maybe Bedu Anna Mihu, Nami Bisa say, Yet Omoba back. Omodomo be come back and Omo be pay by more. But send a make at the end, they say, Yet Omoba come back. They are Nigeria people. But in as much as Omi any animal, my back crew, I had almost go back, yet almost come me and Joe Mosake. But me submission is a Sekebeya. The government, our government, and their government should have some negotiation or agreement or advice table, or monitoring advice table. Now, almost just a way on the phone, whatever one Palano only here because omo de omo eba no omo mu nsire sika ne bi omo kan kwala no gu kwan no mu ne kwala na akwa kwasire sika nkwala yi omo ye asset o metimi aboa ye pa daache because unnim ba bia wo be kwakonya wo yenso ye o ye kuro yi mu yi enema ba ku mienu bi wo ha yenso ye ni na so ye hozo na so ye hozo ya mi jina mi student na so be the moto yi eye aduma tell be ya mensu mensa be de ebe kuma na se se kwan nu no stress ka wo ani je maninje ho omo ya wo street mu no wali je ho maninje ho so I dey feel how say ya do omo ka aban no ne wo ma ba ye se wo ko da bi na se wo nya de ya e di ko to do ba very good. I don't think the maker say omo kwa once they are Africans, you know, say omo kwa ya buy na ode omo ko no any ebia omo president no entrance no onto omo fo ba mami fisa obi ko travel chire na say ya infancy America UK buy ball no de oba on fa oba na oba ku yes any dem so de oba it is not why say we can say we buy no oba buy me kasa na say ono no hwe na nkra yi very good me kasa because ebia omo buy ni unu emfaso dia empalai ebetimi di abre omo country no entina enye ohye say ya ban no enene endi sankomo no
this is the second update on what we issued earlier in the morning about a swap being conducted by officers of the Ghana Immigration Service and an operation that has been sanctioned by the Comptroller General of the service to raid the streets of Accra of foreign beggars and also to disrupt networks of criminal elements, and then also to repatriate all undocumented beggars in collaboration with their respective embassies in the country. And then we are to ensure that this operation is conducted in a very humane way, in consonance with our core value of respecting the human rights of every individual, be it a Ghanaian or a foreign national. So this morning, early in the day, some teams of operational men from the service descended onto 11 different zones of the national capital to arrest all foreign nationals in locations that we have identified by or through intelligence. We zoned the whole national capital into 11 zones, from Zabuzongo to KIA to Medina, Abokobi, and what have you. And as we speak, we've arrested 2,241 foreign nationals, made up of the following: 384 male adults, then 577 male children, 525 female adults, and then 755 female children. All these persons are currently undergoing profiling. When they arrived, we had various tents set up and officers. We have the GI clinic on standby to conduct medical screening for any of them, especially children and old persons who may need medical attention immediately to take care of them. And the next segment was for them to go through security profiling to ensure, apart from the undocumented ones we are looking for, whether there are persons of interest. For such persons, we'll take them through the normal legal process. Those that are undocumented are engaged in these begging and other criminal activities. Immediately they go through and to the end of the profiling section, buses are ready to convey them to their various destinations. We are in talks again with some of the embassies of these nationals, and they fully support what we are doing. Some of them, a couple of years back, conducted such exercises on their own. So we have their backing, and if any embassy, for that matter, will want to remove their nationals by air or whatever that means, the service is really ready to support such an effort. But then after they go through all the processes, they will be escorted out of the country by the GIS by road. So far, that's what we have, and they are currently going through the process. By the end of the day, we know the total number that have been arrested for the day and the various nationalities into which they fall. And these figures may rise as more people are brought in. As we speak, so far we have received from about 4 or 5 zones within the national capital. I believe by the close of the other zones may come on board and the numbers will definitely go up. And then we'll get to know the various nationalities to which they belong. So that is what we have for now concerning the scope, what we call special operations that the service has embarked on. Thank you. If there are 1 or 2 questions.
Is this operation only happening in Accra, or it's a nationwide thing? Because we find some of these people in various capitals and within the country.
Yeah, so thank you. So it's to be conducted across the country, especially the major cities. So Accra is the launching pad. Definitely within the next 24 hours or so, the other cities will begin to experience this move of removing these undocumented areas. Yes, so it's not just going to be confined to the national context, but then outside Accra.
Which nationals are predominantly the largest numbers you've really arrested so far?
Yes, I have not received that briefing. Like I said, the process is still ongoing. I'm sure by the course of the day, in the next press statement we release, all these questions will be answered.
A follow-up. Would you agree that your officials at the borders, land borders specifically, are compromised or complicit in all this?
They are not. They are not. And I wouldn't hold brief for anybody who will intentionally do that. But then, and again, it's not an excuse that we always say the borders are porous. But if you look at the measures we put in to ensure that our borders are safe, you realize that we are doing the best across the South region. We're one of the best border security institutions where others even come to benchmark us. Just that at times it's unfortunate that some of our fellow nationals and the border residents at times assist some of these people to come in. But then we are in engagement with such border nationals about the dangers of assisting foreigners to enter the country through farm ways and other pathways and all that. Yes.
This is not the first time operation you say, across a in immigration for more year. Son of a way no about the last thing a NCU.
Yes, we in the first or last, but also we in terms of magnitude and planning and all, it is one that we know will send a very strong signal to those even who may be hiding somewhere that we have not seen, that no, the terrain has changed. And even at the borders now, the Consul General has given a very strong directive to border commanders to double their patrols and their efforts. And again, we've also built up on our community engagement with border residents to ensure that these things do not happen. So in most border communities, especially in the northern frontier, we formed what we call community protection forums, where there are various groupings with border committee members as part of this group, where even you have these civilians being chairpersons of this group to raise issues about counter-terrorism, cross-border activities, and all that. So gradually, we are buying them onto our side, and let me say that the effort is paying well. So we may not be seeing such high numbers coming on because of what. Take it as an assurance, but with the cooperation of all Ghanaians. Thank you.
Okay, you
So, like I said, GIS is in charge of migration and also border security and all that. But then, like I said, we now depend more on intelligence-led operations. So from Intel, we realize that these beggars, apart from being a nuisance, you find some criminal elements trying to organize them and then use them for certain activities. And even the issue of human trafficking, that try to engage them and take them away. Some go with buses to go and bring them and ferry them into the country, because one, the business is lucrative, and they are using these vulnerable ones to enrich themselves. I think it is very wrong.
Ghanaians? The syndicate, are they Ghanaians?
They are foreign nationals. They are foreign nationals. And I think you find Ghanaian collaborators.
How is the Ghana Immigration Service preparing to, in this process, ensuring that the early women, children are well protected in this process?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I said as part of the operation, and it's one of the key objectives of the operation, ensure humane handling and process it. And by our core value as an institution, respect for human rights. So we are taking, that's why earlier when some of the cameramen came, we said, no, you can't send your cameras there because you find them in a very vulnerable state and all that. You don't have to expose, especially for children, you don't have to expose them on our news flashes. But I saw online some media houses showing pictures of children. We have to protect that. So we are being guided and being mindful of their human rights. So we are doing it in a very humane way.
How do you determine how do you determine that someone is a Ghanaian?
Oh, that's our job. That's our job.
How do you do
you see, some of the questions, if they are answered, then it gives information to those who may be listening to us but not be like us, and then they can use that to try to evade officers when they are being questioned.
So what would you do if you found this foreigner with a Ghana card? What would be your reaction?
Yeah, also we are experts in document fraud or identity fraud. So we know how to find these people out. We can easily check on the national database to see whether this card is genuine or you, the person, by our questioning to know whether you are indeed a legitimate holder of that card. That is whether you're a Ghanaian.
Meaning if